And there could be a world where POTUS says all airstrikes anywhere around the world require my approval. Okay, well, he's the commander in chief. Roger that, sir. Welcome to 24/7, strike package approvals.
This one, everybody's been asking me, what do you know about this? And I'm like, spoiler alert, absolutely nothing. So, all right, Trump says he doesn't know anything about reported failed SEAL Team 6 mission in North Korea. In 2019, a reported SEAL Team 6 mission in North Korea allegedly aimed to plant a device that would allow the U.S. to intercept communications from Kim Jong-un during nuclear talks. According to the New York Times, the operation went wrong when the SEALs believed they had been spotted by a North Korean boat and they opened fire, only to discover the vessel carried unarmed civilians, possibly shellfish harvesters. The team then returned undetected to a nearby submarine. The mission, which was reportedly approved by then President Donald Trump, was not disclosed to Congress. When asked about the report, Trump said he knew nothing about the mission and was hearing about it for the first time. The Pentagon and U.S. Special Operations Command declined to comment, and ABC News noted it has not independently confirmed the details, many of which came from anonymous officials. The question is, well, actually, I've got a couple. One, what are your broad thoughts on this? But what does it mean for oversight if a dangerous mission like this could happen without Congress knowing? And what risks come from running secret ops without any real checks or oversight? Curious your thoughts.
Yeah, so I mean, that's where the Gang of Eight, for a lot of those who don't know, the Gang of Eight, I believe it's the Speaker of the House Minority Leader, the leader of the Senate Majority Leader, the Senate Minority Leader, and then the kind of the heads of the House and Senate Intelligence Committee, right? That's the Gang of Eight, and they're the ones that are supposed to get access to this. I mean, obviously President Trump could say that it's impossible for him not to know such an operation. I mean, you and I, again, we've been in a situation where the authorities, and there was
they go up and up to a certain threshold. Yeah,
we've both been in scenarios where like, nope, you can't do that. That requires POTUS level authority or SecDef level authority, right? We've all been in those conversations. So again, I mean, that the Gang of Eight wasn't notified. I haven't been in situations that much in Congress to see how normal that is. I don't know how that is. But again, is it really necessarily surprising with the Trump administration that he doesn't share information with Congress, that he doesn't share? No, I mean, I think that's kind of his thing, right? That's kind of how he has generally run over. And I would agree, there's always that risk. Specifically within the construct of, and the New York Times wrote this, and that's kind of one of the things that they wanted to highlight is even specifically for leadership, right? Because in the end of the day, what matters is the leaders Congress controls a purse, they control funding, right?
Yep.
And they should have a broad understanding, because I think there has been this romanticization of the SOF community and this idea that the SOF can do everything at all times. That's
I wish.
Right. But I mean, it's like, I hear commentators, for example, when we're talking about military operations, like, oh, just send the SOF. Why are you like, okay, that's not a soft mission set. Well, first, number one, even at the JSOC level, like those are types of operations that are more in line with conventional military forces. And I think that's the concern, specifically Congress, because obviously Congress has access to classified information and they can do it accordingly for budgeting. And if my concern is without the oversight, in the end of the day, Congress can't veto the commander in chief. The Gang of Eight can't say to Trump, and they'd be notified after the operation, number one. So POTUS approves it, the operation is executed, and then POTUS notifies the Gang of Eight. It's not the other way around. They have no veto. But I think the matter is in the absence of, as you said, oversight, and then really within the purse, because then it puts a clear picture of saying, okay, what types of operations? And look, just like any military operations, there are going to be success and there's going to be failure. And to single out one specific operation in North Korea, I don't think it's necessarily fair. It just happened. They didn't realize. Look, obviously you and I weren't on the ground. We don't know. Things happen, and that's just the nature of the thing. And what I think this New York Times reports, what was interesting of it, if you read it, they said that apparently the U.S. did this in 2005 under the George W. Bush administration. That's why they thought they could do it again. Like this wasn't. And my thought process is, I'm going to be real. I have no inside knowledge. I have no idea. I don't have access to that level of classified information. Nothing. I find it very hard to believe that the only time the United States has conducted operations inside of North Korea is in 2005 and 2019 or 2018 when there's like
I can answer that for you definitively, and I'll speak super broadly. I've never been read in specifically to programs like this, but I can say with absolute certainty that sensor emplacement operations have existed for a very long time. And sometimes there's a maritime component, which would drive towards elements of the community that I came from. Everybody, let's be real with each other for a second. Most doctors do not care about optimization. They do care about you, but they're checking your basic labs. They tell you that everything is looking normal, and they're going to send you on your way. Meanwhile, you're feeling tired, your performance is slipping, and you know that something is off, and that is where Merrick Health comes in. Merrick Health isn't your typical doctor's office. They're a next-level health optimization platform that actually listens to you, runs advanced lab testing, and helps you optimize your hormones, your metabolism, and your overall performance. So whether you're looking to boost your energy, maybe gain some muscle mass, or you just feel like you're not your best self anymore and you want to change that, Merrick gives you those tools and can help you make it happen. You have two options. You can go with their guided optimization program and get a dedicated health coach and medical provider to help you with supplements and prescription treatments. Or if you're more of a do-it-yourself type of person, you can order self-service lab tests and take control of your health on your own terms. The best part is, either option that you pick, you can get 10% off of your order right now. Just go to merrickhealth.com and use the code FOCALPOINT at checkout. That's MAREK health.com with the code FOCALPOINT for 10% off. I want to thank our partners over at Amos Squared. They've built what they call America's Ammunition Reserve. Basically, this is an ammo savings account. You can sign up, pick from more than 70 different calibers. You can set an auto-buy budget and either choose a shipping schedule, or you can just let your personal reserve grow. Over time, your ammo stacks up and is stored for free in their climate-controlled facilities in Texas and Idaho until you are ready to ship. There are no minimums. There's no extra fees. It works whether you have a small budget or you just don't want to drop a few grand all at once. Thank you so much, Amos Squared, for providing this cool service and for supporting the show. Today's episode is brought to you by DeleteMe. We have talked a lot about people getting caught in timeshare scams, falling for pig butchering schemes, or getting those mysterious text messages that you have no idea where they came from. I've spoken with guests who hunt hackers and work to protect people's personal information. But here's the thing. Your data, your personal data, your name, your address, your phone number, even your relatives' names can be bought and sold online by data brokers, putting you at risk for identity theft, scams, and harassment. Now, that is why we have partnered with DeleteMe. Like the experts we've had on the show who actively stop hackers and scammers, DeleteMe works behind the scenes to remove your personal information from hundreds of people search and data broker sites. They do it continuously, securely, and without outsourcing. Plus, real privacy advisors are available for custom requests, so you're never on your own. DeleteMe has been the leading service for removing personally identifiable information for over 15 years. They verify your data is actually on these sites before requesting removal, reducing unnecessary exposure. Wirecutter named them the #1 service of its kind, and judges, journalists, creators, and podcasters all trust DeleteMe to protect their privacy. Nowadays, this isn't just a nice to have. I feel like it's an essential. And DeleteMe makes it super easy. Just create your account, enter in your basic information on the dashboard, and they're going to do the rest. Within about a week, the first report arrives showing exactly what has been removed. Take control of your digital privacy today at joindeleteme.com/ironclad and use the coupon code Ironclad, all one word, all uppercase. You can also scan the QR code to get started. It's one of the few services actively keeping your personal information out of the wrong hands. So I could almost see a world, and I'm assuming, and I don't know if each one of those times it requires POTUS approval, or if this is it, because if they're not individual operations and whatever, let's say, batteries are batteries, and whatever, you have to go in and switch out the batteries. I wonder if they have blanket approval to continue those types of operations if they need POTUS approval every time. Because I could almost see somebody justifying this. Well, it was kind of tangential to an operation we were already undergoing anyway, so we didn't need POTUS level approval. But then my own experience, I've never been on a military operation that required it, but I have been in rooms where they're talking about escalating levels of authorities. And for people who don't understand, like we'll use Afghanistan as an example. You have your task unit commander that can hey, we need to do a vehicle patrol to go get something in town. Cool. Task unit commander can approve that. Then there's the battle space commander. Like if you're, RC North, East, South, whatever, if you want to do something bigger, they're going to have to get permission to do that. If you pitch an operation like, hey, by the way, I want to start in Afghanistan and invade Pakistan, you're going to get the old hold the phone. And that's going to start going levels up. And there are certain levels of operation where, yeah, you're going to have to, it's going to be SecDef. And I would imagine if it hits the point of SecDef, the POTUS is at least going to be informed. And there are times where, let's use the bin Laden raid as an example. That was POTUS level approval. He was briefed all the way up and approved that because of the potential consequences of what could have happened going into Pakistan, what was it, a mile away from essentially their West Point. So I could see both worlds. I could see people trying to stuff this under something already pre-existing, but I also agree with you. I think it is so highly implausible that Trump is like, yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
And that's the thing. And then even within those levels of authorities, like the beast of the National Security Council. And look, every administration is different. I'm not going to name names because I've been there. I've heard of cases where it's micromanaged at the highest echelons on the U.S. government, at the National Security Council. And I've heard those where it's like, they don't care. They're just like, do whatever you see fit. And look, there's rewards and risk on both sides.
Yeah.
Like, and it's how you do it. This specific, and it's ironic, like this North Korea mission said in a way as many aspects, yeah, that's literally what they're designed for. I still believe oversight is important, and the failure to notify the Congress and the Gang of Eight, I think is not correct. But I mean, it doesn't necessarily surprise me considering kind of the administration, the Trump administration, how they've done it. And I think to your point, though, I think there's a lot of missing information, and I never considered that, and that's an excellent point. Kind of, was this within an existing authority, or is this something that every time and again, I can see it being both ways.
Know, yeah.
I can see it going both ways. It's one president, maybe President Trump said, any type that's involving this operation, you have authority. I'll delegate the approving authority, and that's the key word. Like, I'll delegate the approving authority, or I could say, hey, no, anytime you cross this meridian or this latitude and longitude, or you want to step foot in this country, I need to give you explicit approval. Again, every POTUS is different, and they're the ones in the end of the day who said it. And there could be a world where POTUS says all airstrikes anywhere around the world require my approval. Okay, well, he's the commander in chief. Roger that, sir. Welcome to 24/7, strike package approvals. And so that's where it is. I just think the failure to notify them, I am concerned because of the oversight in some of this. And even though this is a soft operation, oversight is not bad, because in the end of the day, Congress can't veto it. They're not in the command structure, but they should be made aware.
A lot of people complained about that when it came to the strikes in Iran as well. Like, Trump violated the Constitution. It's like, he has the authority to do certain actions up to a certain point for a certain period of time. And then there's notifications. Like you said, it's not, hey, Gang of Eight, what do you guys think? It's a downward. This is what happened, for that. That still has to exist, though. It speaks to such a higher level thing. And I think that's just the state of our own country. And I'm not an expert in politics, but I'm watching people, and it seems like every house of government yelling across the aisle about how, the people who are elected because they have a different color flag are now our enemies, so they don't want to share and work together. It's like, hey guys, we're kind of all on the same team here. Should be problematic.
I would agree. And I think, the Wars Powers Act and everything, but look, unfortunately, I think we live in many cases when anything you analyze, it just immediately devolves into politics. And look, I can have political differences, but I can have an honest policy discussion and how we do it. And unfortunately, I think because of social media, ironically, it's just become hyper polarizing. And look, in the end of the day, social media, I'm a firm believer that social media is not the most important thing that vast majority of people think about. Like it for a very small group of people, it is. And that's maybe where we see emotions run the highest. But like for 99% of the people, no.
Yeah, it's interesting that 1% of the people, though, now have a microphone. And it's as if they can be magnified to a size that is inordinate in comparison to their actual size. And these platforms, it's engagement. It's, what can we, like, the algorithm is based off of engagement, and what gets people to engage more than anger and emotion. It's wild. I don't have a solution for it, but it's interesting to sit back and watch it happen. Because I agree with you. I think for the vast majority of people, if you were to say to them, hey, does what you see online approximate at all what you're seeing with your actual eyes in real life? I'm like, oh, no, definitely not.
Hey guys, Sean Ryan here. I'm super excited to announce a project that I've been working on. I partnered with Ironclad for their newest original series, Target Intelligence PsyOp. It's an 8-part audio experience where we find out who is really pulling the strings. Buy it today, it's psyopshow.com. Link is in the show notes. The stakes have never been higher.